Welcome to the last episode of Paranormal XL for the year. Definitely not the last episode ever.
Yeah, just kidding.
Because, well, we plan on going on for a while, hopefully. If we can figure things out and not get ourselves so stressed out over technical things. You'd think by now, what if it isn't one thing, it's something different each time.
That's usually how it works. Yeah.
I try to keep us to at least the same shit so we can get an understanding, but it's just not working. It's just...
That's all right. We're okay.
Yeah, I guess in the long run, we still put out the episodes, and that's what really matters.
That's right.
So, of course, I'm Gigi, and with me, for like always, is Mama Mary. Again, we forgot the helium balloons. This would have been the perfect episode, with it being the last one for the year.
Maybe you can do some, like, voice effects.
Oh, I'm all about that. Let's say... For the last episode of 2019, it's just going to be kind of a recap of our favorite episodes, giving some shout outs to some of the crews and whatnot and people that we have met along our journey since March. So if you haven't listened all that cool time, year. But yeah, we're just shy of a year. And wow, I'm just super excited for 2020. Like,
it's going to be a really... amazing year.
The things that we don't even have lined up, but like we know are coming, like it's pretty awesome.
Pretty badass.
Really, this episode is going to be talking about how awesome we think we are.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And today, to celebrate the last episode of the year, we each have our own bottle of wine.
There you go.
We will cheers. It wasn't even like a nice... I'm not sure what that was. Also, on a sad note, though, with this being the last episode of the year, this, we do believe, will be our last episode in our very first recording studio.
Yeah, yep.
Because why, Mary? Tell them your good news. She's just full of good news.
I know. Well, across the street, they're redoing that building over there, and the lady I rent this space from is moving over there. She's renting that space for her new salon, and she told me that he had office spaces for rent. So I talked to him, and he's giving me an office space, and I'll have my own entrance, and it'll be brand new, completely remodeled.
Yeah, pretty exciting. And then
it'll be my own place, my own space.
Yeah, right on the storefront there, right in town. Yeah. So it's super exciting. I can't wait to get in there and mess shit up.
That's right.
That's what I do when I stop in. I cause a ruckus. Yeah, I'm just so excited for you. That's just awesome. And might still have a place to like come hang out when we don't want to be around.
It's good to know
things.
It gets better each year. It becomes something more each year. I'm not there all the time, but it's a really great to have a place that I can do my readings and do my energy work and spread that light, I guess, in a sense. Even if I'm not there every day.
Well, right.
That's what it's for.
We still got.
It's my she cave.
She cave.
Yeah.
I want one of them. I've overtaken the whole basement. So that's actually what he got for Christmas. My old office, which was the smallest room in the house, I turned that into
a man
cave for him. Yep. Put up his video games, got him his own chair, filled it full of snacks even. And he was super excited. I said, this way you can watch a movie in peace because he loves to watch movies. But I have a 12-year-old at home.
Well, yeah, they don't like to be quiet.
And he loves to watch movies, but he needs to talk all the way through. Even if he does know that we haven't watched it, so we don't know anything of the questions. Yeah, I'm like, dude, just shh. Sean gets really irritated with that. This way he has his own place.
To watch what he wants to watch.
Because I was overtaking that room in the basement, in the garage, and everything because I need to do a million different things.
I'm trying to talk your dad into... buy me one of those sheds that you see like on the side of the road where they build them. Yeah.
An actual like she shed. It makes it look cool.
I keep on telling him how good of a recording studio that would be.
I've looked at those ones. There's those kits where you can build like the sheds and the she sheds and stuff that you can get from like Menards. There was one that was so cool looking. I think it was like, I don't know, $5,000, $6,000, but it
Wow.
came with like everything, and then it had these beautiful windows. Like, oh my god! And he's like, you wouldn't even. I said, yo, bet.
You would
Put it
never
out
see
there,
me
and you will
again.
find out.
That's
And
right.
you will find out. You'll probably never see me. Then he'll get mad because I'm not like doing housework. I'm gonna be out there doing. I said, then I can
She
take all
shit.
my witchy shit
You'll be
out there.
doing she shit in your she shed.
Yeah, exactly. And
Say
then he
that
still
3
has the
times.
big garage that he can do his shit in.
Mm-hmm.
I just need my own little spot where kids can't get me. See, down the basement, I love having it because it's so spacious,
Mm-hmm.
but the kids get me.
They know where to find you.
Yeah. Sometimes I just need to focus on things.
Well, important things.
Yeah. Or women need a place to go. Not just women. All people need a place to go sometimes and just shut your brain off.
Mm-hmm. And just do whatever.
Yeah.
Just relax.
That could be my meditating barn. Like,
You're calling it a barn. It keeps getting bigger.
well, yeah. That's what I love about this episode. I don't have to say, well, let's rein it back in. So I do have to say, one of our funniest episodes, this is going to sound terrible. Eaters.
I know. That was on my list, too.
It
I
was-
think my kids listen to it every once in a while.
Yeah, well, I went around work, too. I found that part where we had our little discussion about uteruses and how we never said it right. And I put everybody, or made them listen through my earbuds. I'm like, listen, I'm so funny. We are so funny. I'm like, listen to my podcast. Why would we do that? I'm like, because we are hilarious. Why would you not?
Exactly.
I would
Duh.
support them.
Oh, yeah.
However, it is kind of nice to go someplace where, like, it's kind of my breakaway from the podcast, even though it's, like, what I think about consistently when I'm there.
Yeah.
But where it's, like, just do my own thing there.
Yeah. I get that.
No, I hate work, but I love work. And it's just this horrible cycle right now. Because I would love to not have to go. And I really don't have to go. But at the same time, like, I would get driven nuts. Like, we're shut down for Christmas week. I'm ready to go back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go back Monday, get Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then work Thursday.
That's kind of hard, though, because it's... You kind of would rather go and just get in the mode and stay in that mode.
Yes,
'Cause
that's
I don't
exactly.
think I would like that, having a couple days off, because then I just wouldn't want to go at all.
Yeah, we had the option to take it off too, but I'm like, I can't handle 2 weeks, even though the 1 week was nice. However, I'm looking back, I'm like, I didn't get shit done. And it's going to be Sunday tomorrow, and oh my God.
Now you feel like you're going to have to, like,
Rush everything.
fit it all in one
Yeah,
day.
and I'm like, no. We're not going to have anything to do on Monday. I drive over an hour to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, I'm going to have to stay there because otherwise it's not worth it to drive all that way. I don't know. Adulting sucks. I just want to do witchy stuff and research all day. I wish I could have been like this back in high school.
You wish you could have just wanted to do your homework?
Yeah. Like the reports and stuff. Now I'm like, if they would have let me choose what topic or whatever,
Yeah.
could have been completely different. So because I actually enjoy doing the research.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's learning and, expanding your knowledge outside of what you do every day.
All my knowledge of paranormal and serial killer stuff. Now I'm like, it's going to get me far, guys. You wait and see. Anyway, wow, we're just all over the place. But that's okay. It's the end of the year. I'm a little sad. Kind of. I don't know why. I want to shut the door to 2019 because, boy, am I ready.
Yeah.
As much good stuff has happened, just as much, well, not just as much, less bad stuff, but it's bigger. Not bad.
It's been quite a year. And I think we're reaching the end of a 7-year cycle right now. And I think probably just about everybody can feel the fact that there's something new coming. We've spent the last 7 years becoming who we're meant to be. And that's why it's so exciting, because now we're moving into 2020 with a lot of things lining up, that all that work we've spent, the hard lessons and becoming who we're meant to be, now it's going to come. And I get chills all over just thinking about it. Now it's going to happen. Now
All
it's
of our
time to
moves are
happen.
gonna
All the
be
things you've been waiting for and wanting and trying to create for yourself. This is the year it's going to happen.
I sure hope so. Since March.
I think the first month's going to be a little
Working on,
chaotic, but
I
we're going to...
I think so
gonna be
too,
an
just to
amazing
try
year.
to get settled into 2020 by
Mhm.
itself. It just...
Trying to remember to write 2020. Come on.
yeah,
That is the hardest thing.
I still can't write my right last name now, so I don't know. I got asked my zip code the other day. I told them the wrong one. I'm like, nope, I'm lying. They're like, what? I'm like, nah, I'm a liar. It's like it's blah, 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 blah. I was just kidding on the first one. They're, what? Yeah. They're like, well, did you just move? I'm like, yeah, a year and a half ago. Don't ask me for my phone number because I don't know have a clue. Oh, yeah, back to our favorite episodes. What was another one of yours?
Well, since I'm a spiritualist, probably like...
oh, you are now. Why are you fibbing? Let's just tell him now.
One of my favorites was, the Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
The second one.
Yeah.
And because the uterus thing is funny, but I really like the spirituality one. And talking about the spirituality and all the different types and, reconnecting to the whole point of it all.
Right.
Because I deeply think that the spirituality ties into the paranormal very strongly, that it's all the same thing. It's just a different way of coming about it.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
I totally think we'll probably hit back on that a couple more times. Now that we kind of we've been doing this for 9 months, we kind of have a setup when you go back and listen. But now we can go through and not change things that we want to change because we want to keep it the same. But am I making any sense with that?
Well, yeah. Well, it's kind of like, revamping and taking it up the next level. And
then that's what I want to do and hit back on some of the topics that we talked about because some of them have so much more information. And now that, I don't know, I feel that, yeah, we did it for 9 months, but that 9 months to me almost felt rushed just because we were new to it, getting into it, but now we have a groove, I think, where we're like, okay.
Think about it this way. I know it probably sounds silly, but it takes 9 months to carry a baby.
I was just going to say, yeah, we just carried it its full term. Now it's born. Now it's going to be like BA.
Time to bring it to life.
Yeah. Boom. You have to smack it on the butt.
Boomer. The kids last night were walking around calling your dad a boomer. Like, okay, boomer.
Boomer. Freaking boomer. One of mine was, I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 of them on my list. Mary does not have an actual list. I have an actual list.
I have a list. It's over here.
I have to write everything down.
I have like 6 on my list.
Oh.
I'm like, I know she's going to have 5 because I'm a psychic. So I've got to have 6.
So funny.
Not really.
So funny. Urban Legends. The Urban Legends one was fun. And we can always play off the Urban Legend one too because there's so many.
Yeah, that was fun. I was still trying to get somebody to dress up in a costume.
All sorts of costumes. I'm still looking into renting one or getting one. So when we do events, but for our big event at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Because that would just be epic, whether I rent one or buy one. Because they do get kind of pricey. Because you'd want one that looked halfway decent.
Oh, yeah.
But then if I can find somebody to dress up as an alien, then we got Bigfoot or a Yeti. If you are any of these people that have some kind of paranormal or urban legend creature costume, email us. Yeah. Let us know.
Give it up.
Yeah. Because that would be so much fun to have people like in their costumes walking around. Even have somebody dressed up as a fairy, a witch. Well, we'll be the witches, fairy. But
with their crowns.
Even Santa Claus. I mean, he's
that's true.
Anything to do with the cryptids. Mm-hmm. Just a Mothman, a Dogman. I could go on forever.
Catwoman.
Yeah. See, it'd just be like, I just think it'd be like fun to have things like that. Things.
It would be.
People walk around in the costumes. I think it'd be great for kids that come out to the event and stuff. Yep. Just be fun, get your pictures and whatnot. And then, we'll probably do a couple more episodes on the urban legends as well. My new brother-in-law, he's from Australia. He's actually coming. They're coming over on New Year's Eve, so I'm going to talk to him. I don't know how he feels about paranormal stuff or whatever. I'm going to have Sarah talk to him and see if he's into anything. But maybe I'll sit down with him and record with him, and he can tell us some urban legends from Australia.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah. He's wanting to move over here. I said, what the hell?
Why would he?
Then I go back to thinking, Sean and I talked about they got huge snakes, huge ass spiders. They got the flying bats. The flying bats. All bats fly. The fox bats is what I'm talking about. They're the size of Daisy, but they're bats.
Oh.
You gotta, yeah.
That's creepy.
Could you, you could ride one.
Oh.
In our witches' costumes. They are creepy. They got some creepy animals, wildlife there, but still, that'd be so cool. But yeah, I'm gonna see if he'll sit down with me and go through their stories.
Yeah.
Or maybe even talk about like their rituals and stuff they do around Christmas or, that type of thing. I don't know. It was just having access to somebody to talk to that's different from what we do.
That's a good idea, yeah.
It just said bye-bye. Bye! Anyway, so the urban legends one, that was fun. My favorite one to talk about, though, was the Hell's Bridge. And a lot of that was just because I got to go there. But that story, like, I went there at the beginning of this when we started. It was back in March or April. Yeah. And then all these groups started talking about it. I don't know. It was a cool place to say that I went and seen and to learn about the story that went with it. But I didn't feel anything when I was there. I mean, there's neighbors close by. It's not anything you want like a whole bunch of people to go to at one time. Mm-hmm. It wasn't neat to say that I went there. I just thought it was cool that I got to go there. And then, like, there's all these other people that I've met.
That have talked about it and wanted to go. Yeah.
And I don't know. Kind of cool. Urban legends are always fun stories anyway.
Yeah, they are. There's something for the imagination.
Oh, yeah. And to think about, though, it had to come from somewhere. Like, somebody...
Yeah, all legends start somewhere.
Right. You know, and it could have been an oversized dog that somebody saw for Dog Man. Mm-hmm. But the cool thing is to go back. Okay, we heard this version, but then we heard this version out of this person's mouth. The different stories and the ideas that get thrown into it.
Oh, yeah.
I think are fun.
How the versions, they change over time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Pretty fun. Another one on yours.
Well, the occult. I liked discussing all things of the occult.
It's because we run it. Yeah. Just kidding. I don't know why I feel the need to talk like that when I talk about the occult.
Because it sounds evil. And it's not.
It's not.
But it's not. Not really. I mean, anything can be thrown into that category. But it was really great, I think, to touch on those categories in general and to give people an idea. Because when you hear the occult, a lot of people hear cult. And so they see a coven of people, and a cult, occult, and it's tarot cards. It's anything that's spiritual. It's kind of taking the fear out of.
Really, in reality, not much is scary when it comes to stuff like that, or the fear that's put inside of us. We shouldn't have that at all.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's funny that the fear that people put into things in general, where it's not that at all. Mm-hmm. Like, they just assume it because they were told to think it instead of thinking for themselves.
Yeah, and not figuring it out. Where, like, okay, you're afraid of talking to... Okay, we walk around with our goddess necklaces on. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
Gotten some weird looks. And I'm like, okay, they clearly know what it is. But, okay, you're going to hate me for that and not know anything about it. But then, I don't know.
Well, they automatically assume that the triple goddess is a witchcraft symbol. And it can be used for that, yes. But really, it's just symbolic of the female journey where you start as a young woman, then you become a mother, then you become a grandmother. That's what it symbolizes.
Another thing is people will hate on that stuff, but then say they don't believe in it.
That's true. If you don't believe in it, you can't hate something.
Right. Well, that's just not right. Well, do you believe in it? No. Okay, what makes it not right then? Just because you don't believe in it, then it's nothing. It's nothing. It should not make you feel happy, nor sad, nor scared,
then you're just a hypocrite.
Nothing. Yeah, I just well, how can you believe in ghosts when you can't see them? Okay, you're not going around telling your kid that Santa Claus isn't real. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that I think makes sense in my head. And then I say it out loud. Sometimes it probably just makes me feel crazy. Sound crazy. Feel crazy. Always. It's this bottle of wine that she made me drink. Just kidding. She didn't make me.
No,
another one of mine was... Oh, I'm not taking notes. That was the clicking of the pen, though. The paranormal investigating. And I say that because we did that episode before we started with the crew. Before we put the crew together. When I think back on it. Mm-hmm. And knowing the things that I know now, maybe not knowing, but learning on my journey through all of this, I want to hit back on that too. Just because there's things, I did we talked about the topic with our research that we did. Not with the, not experiments, but our, what am I looking for?
With our own investigations, our own experience.
Experience, yes, thank you, that's the word. It's been a long week. That's my excuse every time. Yeah, with our own experience now and being able to come back and hit on those topics that we talked about before with just what we read. Now we can actually say because we've been there, we felt it, we've seen it, And then all the things that we've learned from the other crews. I've worked with a few different crews. I've talked to a ton of different crews. Met so many amazing people. Like, it's just crazy when I think back. And it's only been 9 months of the people that I've met and learned. So each one of the people that I've met have taught me something different, whether it be about investigating or myself or the different types of beliefs and stuff. And it's just been great. It's been so great.
Well, you know, and that's the whole point. That's how you grow. Mm-hmm. Is by connecting with other people and bringing them into your life and learning new things. What's the point of staying right where you are and not doing anything with your life? That's when you get depressed and you get sad and you get tired. And
we don't need none of that.
You're not bringing any kind of refreshing energy into your life. Right.
And that's what 2020 is all about.
That's right. The big 2020.
2020. Good one.
H2O.
There's so many dad jokes that go with like the 2020 and the vision and the something and something
else.
What's your next one? I wonder if we have any of the same.
Well, I like the oppression or possession.
That is on my list.
That was a good one. It was very informative for one, but I think it's really important for people to have that realization of what the difference is, because I think more people than not don't even realize that some of the things they're feeling is because they have an energy that's attaching and sucking their energy, and most of the time it stays as oppression, but when you have something evil and dark, it does become possession if you're weak enough. But I think many people out there don't realize when they're feeling some kind of pain or they're really tired or they're feeling overly emotional and they're not normally like that. It's because of some type of oppression. And oppression can come from just somebody who's with you in general, too.
Right. Well, in that episode, we talked about the objects and how they make people feel. And people don't realize that either. So if you have any question, if you're feeling not yourself, and down and depressed for and nothing really has changed in your life, but maybe you bought something at a secondhand store or, some kind of antique, anything. Have somebody reach out to your local investigating crew or reach out to us and we can help you find somebody because you just don't know. And that's something you kind of put out of your mind. You just think, oh, I'm sick. And then you go get on some medication and
then it just gets worse.
Yeah. It just, that was one of my favorite ones too. Like you said, it was very, very informative. But then being able to go and see some of the objects that we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
What was super cool. Like the Dubuque box, the crying boy painting. There's just so much. There's a few other things. Just, it was neat to actually see the actual objects that they say hold these things, hold these dark energies. Yeah. But if you were to ask Mr. Baggins, it would be a demon. Now, I don't necessarily think they were demons. Maybe in the Dubuque box, some of the stories are kind of
creepy when it comes to it.
Yeah, and I don't know. That after leaving that room, and I've never talked about my feelings after going in there. Like, Star was like, "Are you going to get on?" And said, "No, I'm just not ready." It's like a lot of my feelings is because I don't come out that way. I'll tell you things, but even when we're out with the crew, whatever, I don't talk about what I feel or maybe see or, stuff like that. That's more for me because I asked ridiculous questions, and so I go to Mary with these things. But that was a room that I did. I felt very nauseous leaving. It was a very, I'd say neat, but it was only because it was a different feeling when you got to go in there and you got to look around and you got to... That was the only thing in the room, and it was dark, but it was held it was enclosed in glass, then had the salt around it, and it was airtight, and then you could see like the claw marks of something trying to.
Oh yeah,
It was a lot smaller than I thought. That's another thing, being able to see this stuff, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, because everything looks bigger. Everything gains 10 pounds in a picture.
I know, right? That's going back, and that's just another reason why I'm so happy that we started this podcast, because I was able to go out there and see that stuff, not because of the podcast, but I had a better, not understanding, but
interest in it.
Yeah.
Where there was more of a connection.
I could
versus
appreciate
if you're just
it.
going in there and looking at it, you're like,
yeah.
okay.
I could appreciate it because I knew the history on this stuff that I was actually looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Where any other main museum that I would go to, like around here, I'd be like, yep, seen that.
That's cool. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh no, my God, oh no, you know, and then they're like, shh, shh, shh. I gotta let the other people talk. I'm like, no, you're doing it wrong.
You don't know what you're doing.
No, it was definitely cool. Like I said, that when I first walked in, it took me right back to that episode.
Yeah.
Just being able to see that stuff being able to feel that energy. So I wish that you could have came with me. And if I could just fly out and go there again, I totally would. I have
Just
no
go there and come
interest
back.
in Vegas whatsoever. None.
Yeah, I can't see Vegas itself actually appealing to me
Mm-mm.
in general. I'm just not, I wouldn't like the crowds for one.
No.
The busyness, I wouldn't like that.
No. I'm glad I went. Just say I went. I did not need to go any longer. I went out there and did what I wanted to do, which was go to the museum. Now, if I could go out and go to the museum, that'd be sweet. And go around to, like, the old West towns and stuff out there that are still going. And I'd love to see those cemeteries. I've seen some creepy pictures of them. Would be sweet. But Skinwalker Ranch is out that way, too.
Really?
Yes. Which, that would be... Not that I necessarily want to go, because that's, like, a lot of scary stories that go with that. But I'd love to go out there and get the feeling and say that, yup, I've been there.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, just, like, being able to see that stuff. Yup, I got to see it. And it was really awesome, because I could appreciate what I saw versus some of the people that were in our group were just, you know, drug along or, you know,
They
and
had
like,
to be their type thing.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so awesome. Anyway, moving on. I'm very, very easily amused. But this year, my goal, Vegas was my last year trip. This year would be Salem.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's, yeah.
Sometimes I lay in bed. It's so sad, but I feel like I'm homesick. No. Like, oh.
It's not sad. I get it. I get it. It's, yeah, I'm super excited.
Well, because we just discovered that, you know, all the family ties with the Bassett history and then, you know, the past life ties. But at Christmas, we had the Woodman,
we had lots of wine. Just kidding.
Lots of wine. But at the Woodman Miller, you know, Brown Christmas party, they did their family lineage. And John Proctor is from my side of the family, which is I found fascinating because Elizabeth Proctor is the Bassett side.
Yes. No, so that is awesome. It's
that kind of ties it in even more. I read that, I'm like, oh,
we're gonna have
that's
the time that we have
sweet.
out there. That's what I'm gonna save my vacation time for this year is to go out there because I don't want it to just be I don't want my first time to be just like a weekend trip.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be a 7-day week trip where I can get everything in, and then clearly we're gonna want to go back out. My first time, I don't want to go out there around Halloween. However, I do want to go out there a Halloween sometime, just because to get the feel. And I think seeing everybody in
costume,
in costume,
because they really do it up out there,
and just the spirit of the holiday itself, I think would be super awesome out there. Yeah, or that would be something I wouldn't mind flying out there for the weekend. You know, we go do it our thing, whatever. But my first time out there, because there is so much, I'm like, I want to see everything. I don't have time to sleep. I because we have access to some places where other people don't. So no, I'm just kidding. We'll take you guys along with our journey, of course. But yeah, it's going to be amazing.
It will be, yeah.
And I just want to go right now.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that was on my list.
That was on my list too. So now we just talked about it. We kind of just flowed right into it.
That was one of the better ones too, just because like we showed emotion in that. I got to play around with the voice changer thing because I added some things in there with the poems and stuff and the sayings. So that it was all around fun, sad episode. Only because those things did happen, but it was really. When I say fun, I don't mean like, haha, we fun, but it kept me engaged with the research and stuff that I did with it. Yep. Because it interested me. Another one for me was children in the paranormal.
Yeah, that was a nice one. You know, grasping because that's where it starts is with the children. Mm-hmm. And what's sad is, as you get older, you move away from that. Yes. And then you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you decide you want it back, you have to work hard at getting it back.
Well, we're trained to, you got to do your responsibilities, which is, when you're growing up from being a toddler, it's homework and chores, and then you got graduation, then you got to go to school, then you got to have a family, and then we're not allowed to give ourselves that time to keep in touch.
To embrace the spiritual side.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the one thing that's helped the kids through, the ordeal the last couple of months is knowing that, there is spirit on the other side waiting to connect, that no energy's ever really gone.
Right. This isn't just it, because how depressing would that be?
Exactly. You need
to know that
embrace
this was
those
just
gifts.
It. Yeah, for sure. And the reason I said that children in the paranormal, for me anyway, with a lot of the people that I have interviewed, that I have met with, that I have worked with, talked with, emailed back and forth, they have children, and they involve their children with their investigations or the spiritual side of things, that they don't hide their children from it or whatever. And I just think that's really, really great. And to know that some of these children, they have special gifts, and to meet parents that embrace them, those gifts, and don't shy them away or put them on meds. If they need the medication, that's one thing. But if it's just because you don't want to embrace a natural thing, I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm downing anybody, but it's just the people that I have met or came across so far, parent-wise, with their kids, even a few with autism, they're just phenomenal people, and the children
are too. They're allowing the kids to be who they're meant to be.
Yeah, and that's going to help your child in the long run, I feel.
Well, yeah, because they accept themselves.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's hard. I with having autism and having to be the parent of the child that has that, I'll never say suffer from that, because I don't think it's a bad thing. It makes them unique, and they get to be in touch with things that we will never see.
Exactly. Yep.
Because we don't allow ourselves to.
Yep.
Like, and they see things sometimes way more beautiful than what we could ever imagine. And I think that's so awesome that there are people out there that are like, oh, okay, and then they tie it in with the paranormal type world, and that's not scary. Some people are like, why would you? No, if they're saying that somebody's there and they're sit down and talk with them.
Yeah, they're more than likely is.
Yeah, exactly.
Better to get the answers and then try to shut them up.
Right. I've came across some amazing kids, the absolutely amazing parents through our journey with doing this podcast, and I just my heart goes out to them, and keep doing what you're doing, because you're only helping your kids, and I know that's exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, that episode touched me, and then even more so after meeting more of these people. Yeah, just really, really freaking awesome. You got any more? Because that's all that's on my list.
Oh, well,
she's like, oh, I do. All of them.
Astrology, of course.
Oh, God. I love stars.
There she goes with her spirituality shit again.
We need to tone it down a little.
You need to get your shit together.
No, you spew it all over.
No more positive love and light.
We're done. This is 2020, bitch.
Moving on.
That's what the XL is. It's overabundance.
There you go.
Everybody always asks me what the XL is. I'm like, I don't know. Really awesome.
Big asses. Or mine XL.
At least. It's more. We add more.
That's right.
Putting more. And yes, we have a medium, so
yeah.
Sick of that joke. That's a horrible dad joke for anybody that has asked that. I wonder if they go to medium. We got a shout out from a podcast that said that, and I'm like, if you guys were so freaking awesome, I'd be really upset right now, but anyway, go ahead. The astrology.
Nope, just like the astrology, the idea that learning about the planetary alignment, it really does. How
it all ties into our life.
It does all tie in, without a doubt. And if you learn how to read it, then everything falls into place. You can create whatever you want.
You just got to look at the big picture. People have a way of not looking at the big picture, which most of the time it's not even our fault. Like, we're trained as adults, okay, provide, care.
We're not able to see the big picture.
Exactly. Take 5 minutes. Take that deep breath and put yourself out of that box. Yeah. Look at the big
Tap into
picture.
the idea that there's so many more things
that the
out
universe
there.
is so vast.
And if we just lining up those planets, that really is God's map for us. And if we would just follow the map, our personal one, we would be exactly where we're supposed to be, and you would see everything falling into place exactly the way it was supposed to be.
I sure hope so.
Nope.
She's really drunk right now. She's cut off, guys. She sounds so crazy right now. I'm just kidding.
I'm slurring my words.
Learn my slurs.
I can't even walk straight. I'm
I
not
can't even walk in. Another thing. So we've had like a lot of cool shit kind of line itself up, which won't take full place until 2020. That's why I'm pretty excited for it. Now, Mary has launched her side podcast already.
Yeah.
So if you want to, I know we did. I think we talked about this last week too, but if you want to fill in some listeners on yours.
Basically, it's just mostly guided meditations, and then
you listen to her sex talk on there.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I talk really soft and play soft music. No, really, it's, things like soul retrieval, past life regression.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's a bottle of wine.
#69.
Oh. We're ridiculous. Go on.
You said what? Anyhow. I also do the monthly astrology horoscopes for the month. I go through each day that might have the most impact, and following that, you can figure out how to embrace the energy of the day, really. And then small little mini podcast on small spiritual. That's pretty much it. She's trying to take pictures of herself.
No, babe. I'm not gonna be able to in this room no more.
I know.
Well, sad. It's color in the middle.
Reach.
My arms are. So what'd you just say? Oh, you were talking about your
the podcast.
Yeah.
Spiritual
What's
voices.
that? So totally listen. As you know from her voice on here, it's relaxing voice, and her meditations are pretty awesome. So show the love, show the support, share. And then I will be launching another podcast as well called True Crime XL, which, well, all in its name, it kind of explains it. It'll be serial killers down to like stupid criminals that do stupid shit. So it'll be a little bit of everything. That one will be released 2 times a month, but like I said, it's not going to be launched until March because, well, I want it to do good, but I don't want it to take away from this podcast because this is our baby. And this is what started everything for us, was the Paranormal XL.
Yeah.
So, clearly we're going to keep growing and doing our side things with it. But this will be, I think, always our fallback.
The whole point is to, spread the information and spread the word. That's how you do it. Just by expanding.
Yeah. It's going to be, now I'm all like overwhelmed thinking about everything. Oh, no. No, it's going to be really awesome. And I'll keep dropping hints and stuff like that for when I have an actual date when we're going to release it. Now, that one, my co-host will be Courtney from Salem. So that'll be a lot of fun. Sometimes when she can't do it, it will be my husband, which he had a podcast. It was True Crime Basement, which is still out there. So if you do want to take a listen, he kind of retired his. It was a lot for him to do on top of his job that he worked so hard at. But he asked me sometimes if he can record with me and stuff because he does miss getting behind the mic, which I thought was weird, but I was like, oh, of course. So we'll see how those go.
Those will be interesting.
They will. He knows a lot about all that stuff. Some of it too much, but we'll get there. It'll be a good time. If you can't tell, I'm a little nervous about it. I am. I don't know why, but because this one, like I said, is our baby. This is one we have fun with. This is one we will go out and we will promote when we go to the events and stuff. So speaking of the events, so January 7th, we at 7 p.m. will be on Sacred Journey Radio. January 22nd at 7 p.m.
I completely forgot the name. I'd have to look it up.
I know it's on WKTV, but when I looked that up, that's actual TV.
It's all radio station in one.
I know it's cool as shit looking in there. I look at the pictures.
Do video it too.
Okay,
and put it out there because his podcast is the Grand Rapids, I do believe, Ghost Hunters.
Now, does he do a podcast, or does he do like the video podcast?
He does the video podcast, from what I watched.
Okay,
because I know that the radio station hosts several different types of podcasts.
That's a podcast with a video. Is what that is. I get very angry, and I know I shouldn't when people say things like that. Well, I have a podcast. Where can I watch? No.
It's a little different.
Now, you're videoing yourself talking is what you're doing. You want to be on TV, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to keep.
The thing kind of makes me nervous, but I'm willing to do it.
I'm fine with it on occasion. I really am. This way we can be more ourselves. And when I like to listen, I like to do other things while I'm listening, you know, whether it's cleaning the house or I'm at work or I'm in the car, because music is so shitty these days. Yeah. I'd rather turn on a podcast and listen to a podcast.
Yep.
You know, I don't know. Again, we'll have an episode all on that probably. Because we could go forever with that. So we'll let you know more on the January 22nd one. September 5th, we got the Festival of Oddities, which I'm super excited about. However, I did just find out the two gals that do that and put that together, they have a true crime podcast. It's called So Dead. Now they're based out of Lansing.
That's cool.
They're super sweet gals. The one is retiring from it though.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're taking a little hiatus, which made me a little sad. So good luck to them with everything. The one will be back. I believe it was Jen that was going on the hiatus. If I got that wrong, I'm so sorry. But yeah, so good luck to them, and I can't wait for them to come back. But there's still the Festival of Oddities will still go on. So, which I'm super excited about because I know I can go there and find a femur bone. That one's for you, Courtney. October 2nd, we'll have Parafest, which is Traverse City. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that's where it's at. I do have it all written down. But that's October 2nd. October 17th will be the our gala that we're doing, which we will be putting more stuff out on that too. June 6th and 7th, the Gypsy Festival, which is where?
That'll be over in Chesaning.
Chesaning. I just love to say that.
Chesaning. That sounds nice. Well, it's a sweet place, and thousands of people come through, and there'll be tons of vendors, psychics, mediums, healers, and so it'll be a great place to be to connect with other people who, can get you to different kind of venues like that.
Yeah. Well, and then just meeting like-minded people will just be awesome. Maybe they can just sharing the information like we know in locations, and then getting the people that know other information in other locations. It's just awesome. Everybody's just awesome. And then I wanted to give out to some of the crews that I've gotten to know and or work with, talk to. Not even just crews. There's first of all, Spencer and Jen. They were like, I don't know, you guys are just awesome. I've talked to both of you. I think you guys are great. And if it wasn't for you, I was very, very discouraged when we first started. And they were the ones that, gave us the thumbs up and emailed in the stories and stuff, kind of.
And tried to encourage, yeah.
Yes, and that was just great. So I definitely want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I know you guys have had a rough year, and 2020 is going to be the good year for everybody. This is going to be the year, keep your guys' heads up, and you guys are doing awesome. And thank you. I can't explain to you, you guys having our back, like what that did, at least for me, with keeping this going.
The encouragement.
Yeah. It was. You guys are pretty badass, so thanks. That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
That's all I'm trying to say. And before I forget, if I forget anybody, it's not really that I forgot about you. It's just been a really long week. We will get to you. So, of course, Scar Encounters, we have worked close with Amanda and Scott and their crew. I do believe they just added 2 new people. They are just so sweet. And they started the crew, I'd say just a little bit before we got our crew together. But that's their baby, and they've done a whole lot of stuff, and it's just great. And I do believe Amanda and I are going to be setting up something for our two crews to be working together again at a bigger location like we were just talking about. Yeah. So I just love them. They're great people. New ones that I had just recently got in contact with is Lost Souls in the Shadows. They're the ones out of Wisconsin.
All right.
That want to work with us on some bigger locations. You guys are awesome too. Thanks for keeping me updated. He messages me and lets me know like the cool stuff that they found and where they're going over there and stuff. Cool. Like if we ever get a chance to go to Wisconsin. Not only will we get cheese curds when we're over there.
Oh my God, I love cheese curds.
I freaking know, right? Cheese curds and ghosts. Like, we definitely got to go over there sometime. We could just hop on the ferry and go over there for like a day.
She flies? The ferry?
The ferry, yeah. Yeah, sure does. She flies right in the water. Can't believe we're drinking wine straight out of the bottle. We forgot our glasses.
We're okay.
Chicks and Spirits. They are the crew that Amanda and I met going to the Willis house.
Oh, okay.
We met them at the Soup Cemetery. Sweetest gals ever. They do a lot of cherry work.
That's cool.
Yeah, super cool. Super great. Awesome chicks. They will be coming to our event as well. So I'm super excited to meet them. Toledo Spirit Hunters. He was the first one I interviewed for the 13 questions with PXL. They've came a long way too. Had a lot of ups and downs, just let alone with the crew. But I think he's got it figured out now, which is awesome.
Cool.
Beyond the Grave. That's a husband and wife crew. I know Scar Encounters got the pleasure of working with them. They're out of New York.
All right.
Super sweet, awesome people. I'd love to get into an awesome place with them and Scar Encounters. Mm-hmm. Like, that would be like the power teams to like go out there and do shit with.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to get that probably set up sometime. We will be heading out east this year, so we could probably get them to meet us up somewhere. They actually
go run out to Lizzie Borden house.
They went there not that long ago. Beyond the Grave did. They got to stay there. So, but yeah, that is something that was on the list for when we go out there. So I'm like, I need 7 days and I'm going to do that. So anyway, yeah, that's just going to be like the most awesome thing ever. The whole thing's just going to be live. All 7 days, I'm just going to be going live straight through. You guys will see us sleep.
Not completely straight through.
What? Oh, Cherry Capital Shadow Seekers. Daniel, you are awesome. Yes, they actually will be on Truth and Legends in Your Hometown.
Oh, all right.
And we actually got to meet them up at Paracon for the first time. I talked to them, and then we're like, oh my God, turn around. There you are. It's neat to run into people that I consider friends now through the Para community. Like when we're at like an event and like.
Then you get to actually see them.
Yeah. Like it's awesome. We get to communicate online and stuff, through Facebook. But to actually, I'm like, oh my God. They probably think I'm crazier than a box of rocks. But I just love everybody. I think it's just really, really great. Haynes Paranormal of South Dade. I interviewed her. It was the mom and the dad, and the son has autism. And they go into places. They do. They record like everything. They do a lot of lives and stuff. So you should probably add them on the Facebook and watch their videos. They're really, really awesome. Now, another one of the first ones, because this is where I met my very lovely Courtney, is East Coast Coalition Paranormal Investigators. They're the ones that got like 16 crew members, but they're throughout 3 different states.
Oh, okay.
So they cover a whole lot of area. Yeah. Really awesome crew. How they do it, how they put it together, that works for them. A lot of people do just prefer to have 2, 3, 4 people, that type of thing. That works for them. Having a large amount for this group works for them. That way they can cover more grounds. And then they can get all together and do the bigger, like Waverly and stuff like that. But then if they got a couple different locations that need to be done, they can split them up depending on who's in which state or whatever. So I just thought that's another thing why the 13 questions with PXL, I want to do another series of that just because it was so neat.
Well, you get good information too.
Yeah. Where some people are like, I don't know how people with that many can do this. And then some people are like, I don't know how many or how people can do that with that small amount of people. But I've learned so much by just asking those simple questions and how they can make it work, and it works for them, and this is how they do it. And sharing that information is awesome with each other, because we're not working against each other. We all want the same answers. We'll probably never get those answers, and that's okay. This is our hobby. This is what we enjoy to do. We're learning. We're taking it in. Yeah, we all want evidence. Will we get it? Some of us may get evidence enough for us, but again, the levels of evidence that people require to themselves to make them a believer is different for each person.
Yep, yeah, because perception is everything.
Mm-hmm. And I've learned that, again, from doing these interviews and stuff. I do want to do another series of that. It's just really cool. Mm-hmm. And then to be able to put it out there so other people can listen, other crews can listen. Oh, well, let's try that since this isn't working for us, or vice versa. You know, or the different types of equipment that people use and why. Yeah. You know, it's been really neat. A good eye-opener. Like I said, I'm sorry if I forgot anyone on that list. We're kind of just rambling now because we each have bottles of wine. So I said, get ready for 2020 because that's where it's going to be at. No matter what you're doing, no matter what's in your life, no matter, you know, if you hate the paranormal, that's fine.
Just be ready to hold on to your pants and panties.
Yes. Make sure they're clean panties, though.
Oh, yes, please.
But it's going to be a good year, I think. I don't know. Some years I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's just a new year. Blah, 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 blah. This one I'm feeling good about.
Yep, it's going to be a good year.
Not even just for me, like
for everybody.
But for everybody. You all deserve good years anyway. Just keep your head up, keep going forward. It's going to be great. You talked about your podcast. Oh, I talked about mine. Okay, so there's like a couple different. We've made our notes for the topics of 2020. But we're going to take a little more in-depth look at some of our topics. I do believe we will get into the alien or extraterrestrial.
Oh, yeah.
I do have a feeling that's going to be a few episodes only because there's the aliens that we think of now. But then there's the historic aliens and the ancient aliens. And it just goes so far back that an hour is not going to be enough time.
Nope.
And there's different people that we already have lined up that want to discuss or be in on this with us when we get to the type that they know or whatever. I know very, very little. I know like E.T. So I'm excited to do my research and learn.
He's a good alien.
He is a good alien. E.T. phone home. Also, give us reviews. I actually enjoy reading those. Mostly they're on Facebook. Unless I'm missing them on the apps that you guys listen to. But I know on iTunes you can give the reviews, whether it's just giving us stars or what, even if it's a half a star. I want to know that so we can look back on what we're doing and see what we need to change, if anything, or add something, whatnot. It does not have to be good. I hope that it's good, but if it's not, that's okay. We're all about constructive criticism. Ism.
It's an ism.
That's right. Speaking of ism, I gotta get home. I'm just kidding. Zing.
Is that an orgasm?
Moving on. Serious face. Just kidding. There's no serious faces going on here. Definitely give us the reviews. Any music app, podcast app, we're on all those. Not to toot our own horn, but I worked hard to get us on all those, trying to figure out how to do it. iTunes, Stitcher, Apple, iHeartRadio was a big one for us.
Oh, yeah.
Any of them. Some of them I've never heard of, but I know that we're on them, but I've never heard of them. So, I know Android users. I'm an Android user. It's the Google Play Music. Yeah. I know for sure we're on that one. Any of them, just type us in. We also do have a YouTube channel. Now, however, that's not necessarily linked up to the podcast. I know that's sad for some of you, but again, we discussed that a little bit at the beginning of this one. But we're going to try to come up with something so we can put some more videos on there, whether it's on the subject that we're talking about that week or, We'll come up with some ideas. I know that you guys do like to see things. I like to sometimes watch videos. And it's usually like cute cat videos or cute puppy videos. But we'll come up with something to give you guys something to watch. And maybe try to do a few more lives when we're out and about. If we're at like a location whatever when we're together. Yeah. Oh, I guess I can get back to my notes. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, just give us the reviews, please. Just because we do want to know how we're doing. I mean, I guess I ultimately know how we're doing, but I want to hear from you guys what you guys think. And topics. Give us topics. Like, yep, we have topics that we're going to cover this year. But if you guys throw one at us that you guys want to hear about, let us know.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Maybe it's just a topic that you don't have time to research but need to know about. Let us do it for you. I'm cool with that. We can probably even keep it clean if you need it.
Well, we could try.
A little hard. Little hard.
That's what she said.
Oh, zang. So again, and subscribe. When you're on the iTunes, when you're on the Google Play, when you're on the iHeartRadio, you type us in any of those music podcast apps, subscribe to them. That way you don't have to go back and try to
find it.
Exactly. That way you always got it. And those really count. Excuse me. Those really count. And then the YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube too. There are a few, I think, 10 or 12 videos I put out there. I'm going to try, time permitted, which I don't have a lot of, put some more things out there for you, even with our investigations. Anyway, write in questions, comments, concerns, anything.
Yeah.
Anything. If you want to yell at Mary, that's cool
Yeah,
too. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I will find you. We protect each other in this coven. I mean, in this group.
Yeah.
Yeah, what she said. Go ovaries. Uterus is not ovaries. Uterus. Freaking love that. I wish I recorded these on the same computers, because what I was thinking of adding in here is like taking our highlights from them and like throwing them in. I might sometime. That's just going to take a lot of time. Anyway, I need a person, an assistant. I need an assistant. So I could be like, yep, this idea, make it happen. Yep, this idea.
Yep,
so if anybody wants to work for free for me, give me a ring-a-lang. I mean, an email. And how you would do that is emailing me at paranormalxl@writeme.com. Also, visit our webpage, www.paranormalxl.com. And remember, subscribe. You ever watch those YouTubers and they just like scream that out there?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm like, subscribe. Subscribe. Like I got
Subscribe. Yeah, it's hard. You can't say
it's hard. It's just hard. That's what he said, and it's just hard.
Hit that little bell.
So, thank you all for an amazing 9 months. Now that we've given birth to our podcast after 9 months, it's so sick.
After the epidural and everything.
The poor uterus. 2020 is going to be our year, and it's going to be your guys' year too. If you listen to us for laughs, that's cool. If you listen to us, I don't know, to help make you feel better, that's cool too, because we do love you all, and everybody's got a purpose, and we're all here to find it.
That's right.
And it's just great. We're here to take you on our fun journeys with us. Some aren't so fun. Some are kind of scary, depending on what we get into.
Yeah.
Some are very informative, but keep hanging on with us. It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
It will be. And if you question anything, email us. Always email us. We're always wanting to listen.
That's
Remember,
definitely true.
Yeah.
Yep.
We love hearing from you guys. We'll see what other new things. If you guys think we should add something into the show, let us know. That way we can get this year started like freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, email us at no, wrong one.
Try that again.
You try it. You know what our email is? paranormalxl@writeme.com. You were talking about a game show earlier. That's what, or maybe not talk show, not game show. A game show would be freaking awesome.
That would be hilarious.
Oh my God, did you see the light bulb? I see one above you, and one just went off. Anyhowsen, remember, don't yuck someone else's ever. Thank you guys.